These chickpea fries are so good. If you've never had chickpea fries, you're in for a treat. Crispy outside, tender inside. They're high in plant-based protein and gut-friendly fiber. Baked, not fried, delicious, healthy, and great for meal prep. You only need chickpea flour and water to make basic chickpea fries, but we're taking it up a notch today and making a version inspired by the legendary chickpea fries served at the popular New York City vegan restaurant Peacefood Café. We're even making a quick vegan Caesar dipping sauce to go with it. And the biggest challenge of this recipe is getting together the spice blend because it's a mix of like 10 spices. Cinnamon, coriander, turmeric, cumin, fenugreek, nutmeg, bay leaves, cardamom, fennel, and onion flakes. And then we have fresh garlic and fresh ginger. So first we're going to mix and make the spice blend, and it's just going to be equal parts of each of these spices, and I measured out a teaspoon each for each of those because we need 3 tablespoons of the spice mixture. And so I'm just adding all of these to my spice grinder and pulverizing those to get a powder. And now we'll set that aside and work on our ginger. And this is some fresh ginger. It calls for a tablespoon each of fresh ginger and fresh garlic. So I like to peel the outside of the ginger just to get that outside skin off. I usually use a spoon because it tends to just take the skin off and not much of the ginger, but it wasn't working so well for me today, so I went with the knife to get all of the skin off of there, and I'm just going to finely mince that. Next we have our fresh garlic, and I'm going to mince a few cloves to get that 1 tablespoon finely minced. If you've had a rough day, I say be kind to yourself and to those around you and just take your frustrations out on the garlic. That's what I do anyway. Just a little life advice in a cooking video. Now we're going to measure out a 1/4 cup of unsweetened coconut flakes and 2 tablespoons nutritional yeast. Then we have the chickpea flour, 1½ cups. Oops. Before you start cooking, prep your cookie sheet or baking pan so it's ready to go. You'll need to move quickly once the mixture is done cooking because it will be very thick and sets up fast. I'm lining a large cookie sheet with foil to help it release cleanly since this one isn't nonstick. You can use a 9 by 13 inch baking pan or cookie sheet. Just make sure to spread the mixture as evenly as you can to get the thickness you want for slicing into fries later. In a pot over medium heat, saute the garlic and ginger for a few minutes. Mix continuously so it doesn't burn. If you're cooking with oil, you can add a couple of tablespoons of oil to saute. For oil-free, saute with water, a tablespoon at a time to make sure it doesn't burn. Then add all of those spices and stir for another minute or so. Again, adding water as needed to prevent burning. Next, add your nutritional yeast and coconut flakes and continue mixing to combine. Add the water. We're using 3½ cups total, and just start with about half of that, and then add the flour, mix to combine, and then add the rest of the water. I switched to using a whisk as that helped to incorporate the flour more easily. Continue to stir continuously. Don't walk away. Keep scraping the bottom so nothing sticks or burns. As it cooks, it will start to thicken pretty quickly, actually. So I like to switch to a sturdy spatula or wooden spoon once it gets going. It usually takes about 5 to 10 minutes. So just be patient and keep stirring. It'll get really thick. You'll know it's ready when the mixture holds its shape and comes off the spoon in clumps. It won't pour easily anymore, and that's exactly what you want. Now add some pepper and salt to taste. I added 1.5 teaspoons of kosher salt. Immediately transfer it to your prepared pan or cookie sheet. I'm using a large cookie tray lined with foil, but you can use a 9x13 baking pan, anything with enough surface area to spread it out evenly. Use a spatula to smooth the top as best you can. I like to lay a piece of plastic wrap on top and press it down lightly to help flatten it out evenly. It just makes it a little easier. Now the thickness is totally up to you depending on how you want your fries to come out. I spread mine a little too thin this time, under 1/2 inch, so the fries came out on the thinner side. If you want chunkier fries, use a smaller pan or don't spread the mixture out as much. Refrigerate for at least 4 hours. Overnight is even better. You want it nice and firm before slicing. Now that the chickpea fry mixture is in the fridge, let's make the Caesar dipping sauce. You'll need 1/2 cup raw cashews soaked, drained and rinsed, 1 clove of garlic, the juice of 1 lemon, about 2 to 3 tablespoons, 1.5 teaspoons rice vinegar, 1 teaspoon agave or maple syrup, 1 tablespoon Dijon mustard, 1/4 teaspoon salt, and 1/4 cup water. If you're using a high-speed blender, you don't need to soak the cashews. But if you're using a regular blender like I am today, it helps to soak them ahead of time for a smoother result. Just blend everything until it's creamy and smooth. You can taste and adjust if you like, but I love it just like this. It also thickens as it chills, so you can make it in advance and keep it in the fridge until you're ready to serve. Adjust the seasonings to your liking. I added some fresh cracked pepper and some additional salt. When it's set, take it out of the fridge, flip it onto a cutting board. I just place the board on top and turn the whole thing over. Then slice it into whatever size fries you want. I did mine about 3 inches long. Lay them out on a single layer on a parchment-lined baking tray or in the air fryer basket if you're using that. Bake the fries at 400 degrees Fahrenheit in an air fryer for 12 to 16 minutes, flipping halfway through. If you're using a regular oven, bake at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 20 to 24 minutes, also flipping halfway through. Keep an eye on them since oven times can vary. You're looking for golden crispy edges, and if your fries are on the thinner side, they'll cook faster, so adjust the time as needed. Now the only thing left to do is plate them up, add your Caesar dipping sauce on the side, and enjoy your high-protein, delicious, healthy chickpea fries. It's so good. These are so good. I hope you'll try them and enjoy them.